Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how you doing? Well, before we get started, I need to tell you a little bit of a true story. Something that happened to me just over an hour or so ago. Just as I started recording today's episode, there was a ding-dong at the front door, and I thought, oh, there's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door. I wonder if it's grot bags. There's one for the UK watchers there. So I ran to the door, and it was some lovely people in some very smart suits that wanted to tell me that God was going to save me, and it was just the most enlightening moment of my entire life. Yeah, I'd never even realised that God existed, and they convinced me that everything was gonna be okay. So, after a long old chat, and I took some magazines from them, and off they went, I came, sat down, and started recording the show. And then, on editing, I realised that I forgot to set the correct LUT. Now, if God was watching over me, God would have set me right. So I've now, well, God's in disgrace. God is in the naughty corner now, I'm afraid. And today's episode is going to be recorded using the incorrect LUT. Apart from the very end, well, I'll just give you a glimpse of what the map looks like with the correct LUT, if that's okay with you. Good. Right, okay, that's all I needed to tell you. I needed to apologise in advance. But before we go any further, yes, it's time for you to do your bit. It's your daily reminder. Yes, please, hitting like really does support the channel, and I've got to thank you in advance because you're both lovely people. Yeah, you know who you are. Thank you so much. Right, today's map, with asthma kicking in, is Harbour Mountain by Nerve, and this is, very surprisingly, actually,
it's their first map.
Yes, it's their first map. There's just Dart Square there. I can't believe this is their first map. There are flaws with it, but it's outstanding for a first map. Resources are very, very usable indeed. Thank you very much, Nerve. It's good to see that for a change. And off to the workshop, what do we need? And the answer is just Clara and the realistic European theme. Now, admittedly, Clara is what we should be using, and what we will be using is the realistic V1.2. But as promised before, we will be having a look at the correct theme just before I go into the ratings at the end of the show. Now, the roads are pretty fine. They are elevated, and I would prefer them at ground level at this point in the map. When you're going into where the city centre would be, or if you're going through areas where it does need to be elevated, I'm all for that. But see, elevated, we have to come down to ground level to get the plopped intersection in, and the plopped intersection is very nicely done indeed. No problems with this at all. Really quite happy with that. Now we're going to take a different route, but look, doesn't this map beg you to build on it? This is a first map, and yes, we've got glitching between the roads. Going to point it out, not going to mark it down. For those people that worry that I'm marking things down for a little bit of glitching like that, I'm not. In the same way that you're not marking me down for my horrific wheezing today, I'm ever so sorry about this. Right, intersection time. Plopped, very sweetly done. Very sweet choice as well, and we've got traffic going off to the fog that way. If we go that way, we're going to shortcut to the start square, although there is a short start square over this way as well. You'll see. We do have some issues with street light clipping here, 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 and here, but and a shadow as well. That wasn't the street lamp, that last one, that was a shadow. And then, yeah, this slight elevation change there, not looking at that at all. That's fine. I'm going to let it go. Such a minor thing. Down here, now this is Start Square intersection area. If you head right, you have a little bit of build plane over there to work into, which is okay. If you head left, this actually sticks its nose into the Start Square. Now, we're not going to have a look at it that way, but look at this. Just look at this for intersection. Look at this. 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 Look at this Look at how tight this is. Admittedly, we've got some very, very sharp cliffs there with trees perched upon the shark's teeth of those cliffs. It just hides the fact that there are shark's teeth going on there. But that's not the worst, but it does need tidying. Oh, we've got some jinky janky. A little bit of jinky janky. Kind of expect that with a first map, to be honest with you, the jinky janky. Right, back down to street level. I would say ground level, but we are elevated, of course, all the way. Follow this round and we go into a perfect bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the perfect bridge. Or Nerve gives you the perfect bridge. Thank you, Nerve. Great work. Little chiseling into the side of the rock there. That's okay. I have no problem with that. In the moment, though, we're going to see something quite special. In my opinion, very special. See the way that the road has been worked into the rocks here. This is very nice detailing indeed. And it gets a big nod from me. Obviously not the most logical route to take, but the route that's been taken has been done splendidly. What we got next? We've got another perfect bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you another perfect bridge. Great work there. We're bending off this way. This is this route we're taking is a bit of a loop. It's a bit of a loop. Doesn't actually go anywhere apart from around where the city centre would be. So I'm guessing you would be using this once you actually start building your city. But at start, it will be carrying very little traffic at all, which is quite good, really. Once again, you can build off towards the fog that way, but this way you're going into the start square. Now, once again, if you have a look around here, there are some street light clippings here, there, and everywhere. Not too... Actually, there we go. There's one. There's one. There's another one. There's another one there. You see that? So we've got a few of those. More glitching down the middle of the highways. But into the start square there, and that's very nice. You can get to the other start square entrance all the way over on the other side of the build plane over there. Very cool. Now let's go back to... here we go. We've got a pillar here. A random pillar. Now there is another random pillar somewhere, and I went back and had a good look for it. And could I find it? No. There is another random pillar somewhere, actually in one of the intersections, and I just can't find it again. I really wanted to show it to you because it's probably more entertaining than that one. Right, intersection again. Quite nice and tight. I'm going to have a look at this. This is tight. Pull this around here. Come through here. Look how... there's no room to give in there at all. That is very good indeed. What else have we got going on? If we go this way, we're going to go... No, we'll go this way, actually. We'll come back that way in a moment. Up here, they've got... This is a beautiful swooping intersection with two crisscrossing highways here. Have a look at that. That is very nice again. But we've got some serious shark's teeth going on down here. There's no chance of hiding this with pine trees, is there? Look at that. Oh, that's going to bite. Okay, right. Now let's head up towards that intersection up here that I said we were going to go back to, which is up here, intersection here, and this will take you down back towards the start square that we were just looking at, right down there. But we've already been that way, so let's head back off towards the fog this way, where we will encounter another perfect bridge, not stopping for that one, jump across that way, all elevated all the way to the edge of the map. Now, the rail is less impressive, if I'm honest with you. We've got some slopes going on here. If I switch the terrain lines on, remember, each one of these terrain lines is an increase of 1 metre. 1 metre increase. This is quite steep. It doesn't look steep. When you're putting down your rail lines in normal mode, it looks relatively flat and smooth, and once again, it doesn't affect the gameplay at all. This isn't Transport Fever. This isn't one with realistic engine mechanics. So the trains will take that quite happily without batting an eyelid if a train had an eyelid. I wonder why trains don't have eyelids. I know, of course, Thomas the Tank Engine. If Thomas the Tank Engine was taking that, he wouldn't bat an eyelid. Actually, I think the physics in children's railways is actually much better than Cities Skylines. Sorry, I'm digressing completely. We've got a friend here. We've got 2 lines now. 2 lines. Looked away, was thinking about Thomas the Tank Engine, didn't notice we had 2 lines. They're going to split in a moment, and we're going to jump across to the line that we couldn't actually got to because they're not actually connected, these two. We're going to go left instead of right, and head off towards the fog this way, where we will, and when we start getting to the fog, you'll see the hills again, and we'll start climbing. I'll put the terrain lines back on, you can see the steepness of it. So yes, the rail's not bad in the middle of the map, but on the edges of the map, it just loses that little bit of realism. There we go, back on there. Look how steep this is. Ouch. Just a little bit ouch. Okay, time to go to Assetville, you know. Because it's time for today's asset review, of course. Now, today's one, it's by our old friend. I say our old friend, I've never met them in my life, but they're producing such good stuff, we keep seeing their work. It's DACvid 2727 with ABC offices. Now, this is one of those modern architectures. Look at the bend on that. Now, I am a little bit of a wimp when it comes to this sort of thing, and I would not go in. I know they're safe. I know they are safe, they are built with plans and whatever, but this is sort of building also. It's a bit like the walkie-talkie in London, which was melting the pavement. So, yeah, please don't build buildings like that, guys. Please. DACvid, fine, thank you, DACvid, but real architects, please don't build like that. ABC offices by DACvid 2727, and that's today's asset of the day. As we go off to Themington Island for this week's Theme and LUT combo. This week we're having a look at Pax's Fallout 76 theme by Pax the Cat with Rain Day LUT. Pax has done a map of Fallout 76, so worth checking that one out probably at some point. If not me, then definitely you. Right, okay, factoids, because factoids. The 4 shortest place names in the world are, and if I get these pronounced incorrectly, I'm sorry, but these are all non-English. We have A in Norway, U or the Caroline Islands, O in Japan, and Y in France. And sorry everybody, and the painted lady butterfly migrates more than 4,000 kilometers from Africa to Asia, and Asia to Europe. From Africa and Asia to Europe. Good old painted lady, hey? And so back to Harbour Mountain by Nerve and the shipping routes. And this particular shipping route, this is fine actually, apart from the bridges just a little bit too low, just a smidge too low. That's a bit of a shame. Here we are, a little bit of footage in the bottom right hand corner for you, just clipping through there. And the same with this bridge over here, it's just so close, so near, but so far. And the same can be said for this bridge down here. Probably I've not checked, but yes, definitely I would say from experience. Let's pull back up and have a look at the water flow. Water flow's very good in this map, very good indeed. We've got a couple of rivers, they empty out. First of all, this one empties right at the edge of the map, taking the sewage right out of the map. That's excellent. This one takes it into the main bay area, which has water flow pushing in towards the middle, but there's plenty of water there, and I'm pretty sure that pollution won't be a problem in this particular location. We go back upstream here, we can see the water flow going through the start square there is all very nice. Pops out up here somewhere is the water source in that area up there. We'll have a look at water sources soon. Right, let's have a look at the rest of the map. Now, the outer areas and the hills, I've got to be honest with you, I find very meh. It's some very good build planes, but aesthetically, these kind of areas don't really do anything for me. For gameplay and all that kind of malarkey, excellent. Just doesn't grab me. There are some very nice areas that are aesthetically very lovely, but over here, no, it doesn't really do much, I'm afraid. Can't grumble about it. I mean, it's actually very nicely done. But sometimes just some areas are just not attractive areas in real life as well. And that's just the way it is. We've got some paddling trees there. Lovely. Let's go up the stream, see if we can find the water source for this particular river. I did promise we'd have a look for the water sources, didn't I? Can't be that hard to find. Just keep going until the... Oh, hang on, is that side stream there? Or is it just... yeah, that was just an island. Oh, how about that? Sorry, how did I miss that? I keep going. Keeping going. Paddle harder, guys. Paddle harder. Come on, get your feet in the water and splash. Come on, we need to get to the top of this river. Up. Now we have waterfalls. This is promising. And there's your water source. Now, I buy that, and the first 30 feet, and then it just becomes a bit of a torrent. So it starts off okay, but I think it picks up speed too fast. This one just I don't buy into at all, I'm afraid. This one just doesn't really, the water magically appears. And once again, it's fine for gameplay. Aesthetically, doesn't do much for me. Down here, we've got some bamboo fields. This is a nice little area. This is the kind of area of the map that gets, well, would on its own be close to a 4th star. This is unusual. It's different. It's very tidily done. I'd like to see a little bit more foliage, but sadly, that's not always something you can always have. But this is all good. Now, down here, definitely place for the essential lighthouse. Definitely a shipping hazard there. Any ships approaching here would be run aground, and we've got the jetty as well. Now, I don't really like the jetty in this location, but it has been placed with good finesse, so I'm going to let it go. Yeah, just because I don't like it there doesn't mean it's not well done. Here's the mountain, the volcano, and what I like about this is look at the way it's crumbled away on this side. This is very good work indeed. I've got to guess that there's a bit of terrain party work going on with this map, if not a lot of terrain party in places. Now that's the ship that would have made it quite happily underneath those bridges because it's just a freighter. What am I looking for now? Let's have a look around for the fields. Yeah, we've got a little bit of farming going on as well. The farms are okay. They're surrounded in blocks by trees, by woodland. I'm not quite sure how the tractors get from one field to another, but they would find a way. They would have to find a way, wouldn't they? Now, as promised, I've switched across to a quick glance at the map using Clara, which is the author's correct LUT, the LUT I should have been using all the time. I don't see too much of a difference, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of the Clara LUT. The whites are a little bit too white. They're designed for like the sand and whatever. It can be a little bit bleached, actually, if that's my personal call. It works in certain locations. I don't feel it works that well for this map, and the realistic one I actually prefer. But I'm going to show it to you anyway because I think it's only fair, especially as you're going to vote on it as well. And I think it's only right that you get to vote either 1 star, 5 star, or somewhere in between on this particular map, and your vote does count towards the new show, which I will get around to making. I will, I promise, I will. Right, so that's it. That's what the map looks like. Let's find a place to settle down. Right here in the original realistic LUT. I prefer it. That's just me, Michael. Okay, aesthetically, there are some places of outstanding beauty, like that volcano. But the rest of the map is okay. It's okay to look at, and I do like the design. The overall design is very nice. So I'm going to give it 3 stars for aesthetics. Detailing across the board, I would say is better than average. We've got street lights going here and there. We've got rail which is too steep and stuff like that. It's not quite a 4, but it's a very high 3, and for that I applaud you, because it's your first map, and to get a high 3 is a good score. And then gameplay potential, yes, this map's been made for gameplay. It has, and I very nearly gave it a 5, but there's just a little bit too much tinkering to do before we can get started, so 4 stars for gameplay. Harper Mountain by Nerve, today's very good, my first map. Very impressed by that, Nerve. Just keep working, and you're going to produce something really special. Not that that isn't special. Right, thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. Don't forget, there's another map you can vote on the screen now. It's an oldie. It could be a goodie. It might be one that you've missed. Do go check it out and give me some marks on that one as well. That would be very nice indeed. And join me tonight for a little bit of map making. My map's coming along very nicely. See you then. Thanks for watching. You've been the best.